Hello and welcome to another episode of Humans in 5.
Evolution is a pretty big concept. It's a force that's shaped every living thing around us, including humans. Many of us might learn about evolution when thinking about animals in the past, like dinosaurs or even our own ancestors.
Evolution is a demonstrable force. It's referred to as a theory, though the word theory here refers to an explanation of some aspect of the natural world that has been substantiated through repeated experiments or testing. Gravity, which is absolutely demonstrable and real, is also referred to as a theory.
Now, there's a number of different mechanisms involved in evolution, including natural selection, but we'll save going over those for another episode.
The existence of evolutionary processes doesn't mean that evolution has a goal. It just happens. Evolution doesn't refine body parts or behaviors so that they're perfect. It merely acts on features that allow members of a population to survive and then reproduce.
The other thing that evolution doesn't do is, stop. It's an ongoing process, and yes, one that does impact you and I and everyone else on the planet, even if we're sitting in temperature-controlled buildings and foraging at the supermarket while getting vaccines.
A study from Flinders University and the University of Adelaide in Australia has given us one recent example of evolution continuing to impact the human body. Researchers found that there has been an increase in the presence of the median artery in the arms of humans since the later half of the 19th century.
The median artery is the main vessel that supplies blood to the forearm and hand. It actually develops while we're growing in utero and usually disappears once we grow into adulthood. It's replaced by the ulnar and radial arteries once we get older, essentially leaving the median artery out of a job.
According to historical anatomy reports, around 10% of the people born in the mid-1880s had their median arteries as adults, compared to 30% of people born in the late 20th century. That makes a notable increase in a fairly short period of time when it comes to evolution.
This is a pretty good example of the majority of evolutionary changes. They're not necessarily beneficial nor negative. They're just neutral. There doesn't seem to be any problem or any plus with keeping your median artery, but it's just something we see changing in the last 100 years or so.
It's not just arteries in our arms that have changed in humans over the last little while. We've also seen a slow reduction in people developing wisdom teeth. And we've seen the total disappearance of the thyroidia-ima artery, which is a part of the arteries associated with the aorta, by the end of the 20th century. On the other hand, we've seen an increase in the numbers of people who have a small bone called a fibula, which is found at the back of the knee, since the late 1800s.
We hope this episode gets you thinking about those little changes that happen over time, even among humans, and we'll see you next time on Humans in 5.
And don't forget to subscribe!